Next one is for three-phase AC generator. Okay, so another name for AC generator is alternator. So an example of an alternator is the one that we got in our car. We call it as alternator because it produces AC. AC is stand for alternating current. All right. So this is a look of an alternator. So remember, alternator three phase. Three phase means there are three phase of electricity. So this part, in this case, I'm using red color. So this thing is called stator. Stator. I'm differentiate that by using color. The red one is for phase one. Okay. Then the yellow one is phase two, and the blue color is for the phase three. Okay, so this thing is stator winding, okay, made of copper coil. More copper coil is better. All right, so this is stator, and at the middle is called a rotor, and this rotor is made of permanent magnet. So as you can see, we got north and south here. Okay, and of course at the middle of this is connected by using a steel shaft to a turbine, for example. So we use turbine to rotate the shaft. So the shaft is connected to the rotor, and so the rotor is rotating. So as the rotor rotating, the magnetic flux, remember magnetic flux in permanent magnet. So magnetic flux touching this, remember it's the magnetic flux from north to south, outside of the permanent magnet. So as this north, okay, magnetic flux from this permanent magnet touching this part, okay, in this case I'm denote that by using red color stator, so that will produce electricity on this first phase. So when the north part touching the yellow rotor, that produce electricity on second phase, then the third phase. All right, so that's how it produce three-phase AC generator. Okay. All right, so this is actually a simplified diagram of a three-phase AC generator or alternator. I'm using simplified because it's easier for you to understand the working system of a three-phase AC generator. Okay, so we got rotor made of permanent magnet, and we got stator winding made of copper coil. All right, so rotor is connected by a steel shaft to a turbine, for example, because we need turbine to rotate, right? So this rotor will rotate. So as the north part of this permanent magnet, it's produce a magnetic flux. So when the magnetic flux touching this part, okay, the red color, I'm using red color, all right, just to differentiate. Okay, of course the color for copper, the color of copper, okay, it's a brown, yeah, brown color. Okay, but in this case I'm using color just to differentiate. So red is for phase one, okay, yellow for phase two, and blue for phase three. And then of course we got neutral cable. All right, so three phase, remember three phase electricity, it got four cable. Okay, okay, phase one, phase two, phase three, and neutral cable. Neutral cable in Malaysia normally denote as black color cable. So when you see black color cable in your house, that is most likely to be neutral cable. Okay, red is for the live cable. Remember, there are three live cable: red, yellow, and blue. Okay, and the fourth one is neutral. So as you can see, neutral cable is connected to all these three stator. Okay, three stator winding. In the real shape of the generator or alternator, the neutral cable is connected to all the stator winding. Okay, connected to all stator winding. And the red is for this one, yellow for this one, blue for this one, and neutral cable connected to all the way to show the transmission and distribution of electricity, also by flow chart. All right, so generating power plant produce electricity of 11 kilovolt to 25 kilovolt, then step up that electricity to 275. Second stage is transmission. Several GPPs transmit electricity to transmission line, or may be called national grid, national grid, or just the grid too. In Semenanjung, Malaysia, they call it as national grid because the grid goes all the way to all state in Semenanjung. But in Sarawak, definitely we cannot call it as national grid because the grid is only in Sarawak. But soon when we supply electricity to Brunei as well as Sabah and Kalimantan Barat, then we may call it as national grid. All right. Then value of voltage during this transmission is 275 kilovolt, and we're going to upgrade that to 500 kilovolt. In Semenanjung, they already have this 500 kilovolt. In Brunei, they have I think lower than 275 kilovolt and 5, so that they will be 230 distribution substation voltage value of 66 kilovolt and may step down further to 33 kilovolt or 11 kilovolt. Then step down further to consumer. So how we supply the electricity, or how we connect the cable, okay, from overhead or underground, okay, cable to consumer. So supply, this is, remember, the lowest supply equal to 11 kilovolt, okay, from supply, transmission and distribution of electricity, and then it goes to substation. So in the substation, we have transformer. Remember, this is symbol for transformer. Okay, transformer. And to connect transformer, we have a delta, or in this case, a delta star. So this is delta, and this is star. Okay, so delta star connection. Remember, switch, this is symbol for switch. It got to be high voltage switch. So, and one neutral cable each. Okay, so supply of electricity for a small house, domestic house, is using single phase. So the first house, single phase, is connection for neutral and phase one, red, phase one, two cables. Okay, second house, neutral and phase two, which is yellow, and the third house, neutral and phase three, which is blue. Okay, so this domestic house receive single phase voltage. For a big house like office, it's connected to all four cables, one neutral, and then three live cables, so four cables. So this office could be using both three phase 415 voltage and single phase 240 voltage. Okay, so supply or cable, this cable could be underground or overhead. Okay, cable. Okay, kalau overhead di atas kepala, underground bawah tanah. So at urban area, preferable using underground. Kalau dekat rural area, preferable using overhead. Okay. Right. And this one, distribution of electricity by supply cable, a 3-phase, 4-wire, 415 volts / 240 volt, 50 hertz. Remember, our value of frequency is 50 hertz. Okay. From overhead cable. So overhead, dekat tepi jalan, ada 4 cables. Sometimes you may see 5 cable, ada 5 cable. The fifth cable, okay, under neutral cable, is usually for street light. If there is street light, then that is the purpose of the fifth cable, street light. If there is no street light, then there are 4 cable, 3 live cable and 1 neutral cable. So for domestic house, connection is single phase, 2 cable, neutral and 1 live cable. For big house like a small factory, it's using 4 cables, 1 neutral and 3 live cables. Okay. All right.